Author's POV, are you really sure you can go alone? Mom, I told you I can, plus Richie is there and you don't need to worry about me, Becky replied, smiling while holding both her mother's hand. Becky is right. She's a future lawyer, of course she can do it by herself, honey. Mr. Armstrong butted in, Becky letting out a small chuckle looking at her now worried mother along with Iron, Noe, and Non. The smaller girl take a glance on her wristwatch showing it's almost her departure time. I'm going now, Mom. Dad, please take care of yourself, and guys, please take a look at my parents while I'm away. I'm gonna miss all of you so much, Becky said as her arms wrapped tightly around the two figures she loves the most. Don't worry, Becky, we will take care of your parents. Aunt Roy promised to cook spicy salmon for me, Iron said, chuckling, making Becky furrowed her eyebrows. Mom, what is this? I thought you will only cook for me, Becky pouted her lips. Oh, come on, Beck, share your mom too, Non added, the smaller girl immediately hugging her mother tightly as the older woman slightly chuckled. Despite all the teasing, Becky definitely feel lucky for having such a good friends around her where they can take a look of their parents when she is away. Just this time, okay? Becky said as suddenly the announcement of her flight echoing around the airport. Looks like I need to go now. Becky started to hug every single person. Her heart feels heavy leaving the people she loves the most and being away for the first time. Iron immediately hugging her best friend tightly while Becky did the same. Did you tell Freen about this? Iron suddenly whispered between their hugs. The girl slightly taken aback and slowly pulled away with a weak smile, shaking her head while letting out a little sigh. In the end, I don't. Becky replied, her heart started to feel the pain, remembering her now ex-lover. It's okay. Take care right there, Becky. As the time passed, a girl running on the airport while looking around. Freen can feel her adrenaline rushing through her body as her heart started pounding faster. Where are you? Freen muttered to herself, slightly slowing down, catching her breath before back to sprinting around looking for the smaller girl, her body stopping halfway after seeing what she had been looking for. Becky still there, biting a goodbye to her family. Freen feel like her heart stopping for a moment. The distance between them are huge, but she can perfectly see how Becky's doing. Her body become thinner after 1 month of not seeing each other. The taller girl's steps suddenly become heavier. Freen didn't have the courage to bring her feet towards Becky. All she could is watch with a heavy feelings hiding inside. Freen slowly stepping back as her hands slightly tremble with the sight of Becky. She watched how Becky waving towards her family before turning her back, walking to her destination. Freen feels her knees become weak. A tear started flowing down her cheek before she quickly wiped it away. Becky, just leave her, Becky, Freen mumbled to herself, closing her eyes while having her head down, feeling hopeless to herself. I'm such a coward. 5 years later, author's POV, how can you eat this every morning? How can you not? No pad thai means no a good morning. At least eat it in the car, you don't want to be late on the first day of internship, right? Freen, come on. Just give me a minute, come have a bite, say the shorter girl said, slowly pushing the spoon on the taller girl's mouth as Freen immediately avoided. Love, no, I don't want to, Freen said while pushing the hand, making the girl in front of her sending a death glare towards her. Don't make your girlfriend upset, young lady, and both of you look so good together. The seller suddenly butted in, seeing their interaction with a smile. Yes, we do, right? The shorter girl immediately wrapping their arms together. Oh, please don't misunderstood us, that's not an endearment. Her name is literally Love and we are not a couple. Freen, come on. Keep quiet and finish your food, Freen replied, looking at the sulking girl before bowing a bit, apologizing towards the older woman. After a solid 3 minutes, they immediately get into the black Audi R8 with Freen on the driver's seat and Love on the passenger seat. The quick trip are quiet and calm, Freen slightly glancing towards her still sulking friend who's silently looking out the window. I think I need to start calling you by your first name, people keep misunderstanding us. Freen spoke, eyes focusing on the road. Don't you dare. I told you I don't like it. What's the matter if people misunderstanding us? I told you to date me already, but you didn't want to. Gosh, what kind of nonsense are you talking about? Look, I have a high taste, okay? Are you saying I'm lower than your so type of women? You are so mean, Freen. I literally rejected all the boys on our studies years just for you, Love replied, defending herself, looking at the taller girl madly. Who told you to do that? Oh, come on, I know it's not just because of me, it's because they are not good looking enough, right? Freen asked, glancing towards the now frustrated girl, before her arm suddenly got a hard slap. Shut up. Just drive, love, said madly Freen, letting out a big laugh, before shaking her head. Her friendship with Love had been going strong for the last 5 years after they successfully graduated in medical school together and went back to Thailand just to continue their internship in Bangkok. Love is a sweet happy-go-lucky girl who had been liking Freen, but obviously having a one-sided love. She didn't give up with it as long as Freen is still single and the taller girl keep putting the limit of them to being just friends for her. We are here. Fuck, I hope I can survive today, Freen spoke after turning off the engine. Both of them get off the car looking at the big hospital building in front of them before walking side by side. ER is on the first floor, Love said, pointing towards the signboard. Yeah, let's go, Freen said as they started walking inside the department just to meet with a sight of people. The surrounding is less busy than they thought. They must be the first year's med students. Where? Right over there? Freen said, pointing towards the 4 people on the right corner. They looks nervous, just like you right now. You keep playing with your fingers. Who wouldn't be nervous on the first day? Just you, because you are not normal, Love replied and slightly rolled her eyes, earning a chuckle from the taller girl. Freen slightly letting out a deep sigh. She would be lying if she said she didn't feel nervous at all. Her body slightly sore from the jet lag she having. It didn't even reach 2 days for her to get some rest after having the long-ass flight. Yes, may I help you? A woman suddenly approached them as they quickly bowing their head as a sign of respect. We are the new interns, Love replied while taking a glance towards the taller girl. Ah, you guys are the new interns. I'm Dr. Bella, senior resident, and I will be guiding both of you throughout the internship program. 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖆𝖘. Freen introducing herself along with Love on her side. On your first day, I will be introducing you around our department, and also don't worry, I won't let you do something stupid on the first day. Follow me, the older woman said, and turn around. The 2 girls look at each other and just shrugged their shoulder before following the senior resident. After a quick tour of the department, both of them sat on one of the bench before Love letting out a deep sigh. She's just touring us around and I already feel tired. Is this normal or I'm just really nervous? You should think twice before entering medical field, Love, and after this we have patients rounds, Freen said, chuckling while scrolling down her iPad, taking some notes on. Never mind, I don't regret it though. I got to meet you. Love grinned before wrapping their arms together before Freen immediately pulling away and stood up. Here we go again, I'm gonna grab some drink from the vending machine. You want anything? Just buy me strawberry milk, the shorter girl said, and Freen nodded her head before walking towards the machine. After pressing the button and crouching down taking the drink, she slightly jolted in surprise after realizing the presence behind her as Freen quickly bowed her head. Hello, Dr. Bella, Freen said, seeing her senior looking seriously towards her. You are Freen 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖆𝖘, am I right? Bella asked, tilting her head a bit, and the girl quickly nodded her head. Why yes, Dr. Is there something wrong? And you are the daughter of Dr. 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖆𝖘 and Dr. Freen? From surgery department? Freen slightly taken aback with the question. She didn't even tell a single soul that her parents are working on the same place as her. How did you know? You know my parents? Even though we are from a different department, everyone knew who your parents are. Freen, they are the top surgeons in this hospital. That's why your face and resume look so familiar to me, Bella said, and letting out a small smile. I'm sorry, even though I know your parents, it won't change the way I treat you. You came here for an internship and I will treat you like one, so it will be fair for everyone, right? If there's any questions just ask me and get ready after this, we will do patients rounds, the older woman said as Freen immediately nodded her head. Yes, Dr. Bella, I will. Freen muttered before the older woman's sight slowly disappeared from her eyes. She let out a small sigh. Everyone really knew about her parents, and it's make her wondering for a while, do they knew the truth reason behind their divorce? Sir, I am Dr. Freen and I will be treating your wound today, Freen said with a smile while looking at the older man sitting on the bed. Freen wore her glove as the man started looking up and down towards her. Are you an intern? He asked. Yes sir. No, get me a real doctor, he said before looking away, that slightly making the girl taken aback. Sir, you can trust me. I have done this. Get me a real doctor right now. I don't trust interns like you, he spoke slightly hissing with a deep wound on his hand as Freen, letting out a small sigh. She can feel her body heating up in anger, before quickly letting out a forced smile. Freen repeatedly calming herself inside before sitting down on the chair while looking at him. Sir, looks, you can trust me. I don't usually tell anyone about this, but I got top 1 in the university, Freen said, whispering the last part. The older man looked at her, his face slightly lit up, showing the interest on her story. Really? Where did you graduate? Oxford, sir. Freen said, whispering again with a small smile, and his face looked surprised with the news. Oxford? In England? He asked again, smiling. Yes, sir, in England, Freen replied, and silently screaming in joy for being able to calm him down. That is one of her specialty. She knew how to get people's heart. The old man nodded his head happily and showing his arm to her, basically asking her to treat his wound while she immediately sit closer. I will clean it first, and you also need a few stitches after this. How did you get hurt, sir? Freen asked while softly cleaning the wound. I was cleaning my backyard and suddenly I tripped over a coconut and fell down. My arm hit the grater. Oh my, that's dangerous, sir. You are lucky that it didn't hit your radial pulse. Here on your wrist, you should be careful after this. You shouldn't do any heavy work on your age, sir. Freen said as her eyes focus on working on his arm. You remind me so much about my son. He always told me to stop doing heavy work, because I'm getting old. I'm a retired teacher and I just can't stay still. I need to do something to keep me alive, you know? He said with a little chuckle. Everyone will say the same thing, sir. Alright, I'm done with cleaning it. I will push a local anesthetic on your wound just to make it less hurt for you when I stitches your wound. This will hurt, so please bear with it for a while, sir, Freen said, getting the syringe ready. As he quickly nodded his head after successfully putting in, Freen started doing the simple interrupted suture. This is not the first time for her. After 5 years of studying in the medical field, she just realized how much she loved treating and interacting with people. That's how she can do anything without any problem. For a newbie, are you single? Do you interested in getting to know my son? He suddenly asked, making the girl letting out a small laugh. Only if he knew how gay she is. The question won't even crossed his mind. I might be single but currently not available, sir. Freen said with smile. That's too bad. I would like to have you as my daughter-in-law, he said, and letting out a small laugh. Trust me, sir, I'm not the right person for that. Okay, sir, all are done. Your wound is treated now, so don't worry. It just took 5 stitches and it will be fine. Let me just clean everything up a bit, and after this I will come back to you, Freen said, standing up as he immediately thanked her. The girl smiled and bowed as a sign of respect before walking away for a while, Freen letting out a sigh in relief, having the satisfied smile on her face. The first patient of the day is not that hard as she thought, even though it'd take a few times just to get comfortable. After coming back, Freen saw the old man laying down on the bed with eyes closed as she immediately walked faster and saw how that he already unconscious. Sir? Sir, do you hear me? Freen said, slightly tapping his shoulders, but still no response as she silently cursed under her breath before leaning closer, checking his breathing. I need help right here. Freen yelled as the 2 nurses immediately run towards her. Freen put her 2 fingers on his neck. He is losing pulse. Starting chest compressions. Freen placed her hands on the center of the person's chest before quickly performing the CPR. Please get the epinephrine and tubes ready for intubation and page Dr. Bella now. Freen shouted, as the nurse immediately ran from the scene. Her face showing how panicked she is. Please, be alright. It is a cardiac arrest? Yes, it is, Freen sighed before closing her eyes. Her body slightly calmed down with the sight of the old man laying on the bed. He is stable now. Don't worry, Bella said, noticing the worried face of Freen. I didn't know. It didn't even took 3 minutes for me to come back to him and he already unconscious. The patient came with a wounded arm and I didn't know he had the history of heart problems, Freen explained, guilty all over her face. Cardiac arrest can happen so suddenly. It's okay as long as he is stable now. I already called his family and you did really well on the first day. Don't think about it so much. Let's call it a day. You can go home now, Bella said with a smile, patting the taller girl's shoulder, calming her down before Freen immediately bowed down as they bid a goodbye. After getting everything ready, Freen now walking side by side with Love, who currently wrapping their arms together. She knew there's no use fighting again because the smaller girl keep on winning. The first day already a chaos for you. I feel bad, Love said, slightly looking at the taller girl. Just pray for me to survive throughout this internship. Fuck, I'm so exhausted. Do you want me to send you home or what? Freen asked as soon as they saw the sight of Freen's car. As much as I want you to, my sister will fetch me. We gonna have a family dinner later, Love said as they pulled away from each other. Oh, your sister came back? When? Yeah, last night. She said hi by the way, I forgot to tell you. Oh, alright then, I will go first. I need like 20 hours of sleep right now. I didn't even recovered from the jet lag, Freen said and opened the door. Be careful when you get home. Text me when you arrived. Love said, slightly shouting. When Freen closed the door they bid a goodbye as Freen drove away from the big building. The weather getting darker, it's already 7 p.m. as her tummy rumbling in hunger since she only had a bread on her lunch break. So hungry. Freen muttered while looking around. When the light turned red she slightly smiled with the sight of Bangkok City she had been missing so much. Freen rarely came home during her studies year. With how busy she get as a medical student. After admiring her hometown, she finally arrived at the big mansion before parking her car on the garage. Taking all her things and white coat, she opened the front door just to meet with a wonderful smell coming from the kitchen. I'm home, Freen slightly shouted, letting her presence known before an older woman came to the living room. Welcome back, Miss Freen. I already cooked the dinner, she said, and Freen smiled. Thank you, Auntie Me. I will just freshen up and rest a bit before dinner. I'm too exhausted to eat right now. It's okay, it's your first day. Take a rest, and also, there's a letter for you earlier. I already put it on your table, Me said, and Freen nodded her head. Alright, I will be in my room. Freen walked towards her room as she quickly opened the door and breathed in relief. Seeing her bed again after a long day and putting down her things on the table. Her eyes went towards the white envelope on the table as she picked it up for Freen Sriracha. She read it before quickly opening it, revealing a wedding invitation. Rebecca Patricia Armstrong. Her heart stopped for a moment, reading the name on the card. Freen sat down on the chair, her hand slightly shaken holding the card. It's Becky's name with someone else. Freen closed her eyes, putting the card down as she can feel how heavy her heart right now. Without her notice, she had been staring for 5 minutes straight, the memories of 5 years ago rewinding inside her head. She couldn't hold the tears anymore. Her heart is breaking pieces by pieces while reading the name of her first love over and over, and Freen ended up crying silently inside her room. Hello guys, I'm sorry for the late update, but I hope you're all okay. Please take care of yourselves.